You ready? Are you sure we're ready?
Well, we're on. So.
Oh!
I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm Morey White.
I'm Bob Nelson. Oh, I'm Tracey White. Hey!
And I insert exclamation here. Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome, friends.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Oh, there.
Oh!
Yes. And we're back.
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. How are we all doing? It's Monday. Oh, no, it's always on Monday, isn't it?
It is always on Monday. Thanks for the reminder that it's Monday.
Yeah, it's not like you really needed the reminder. Right?
Monday it was. That's the truth.
A day of Mun it was. Yeah, we'll see how everybody's doing. Let's make our way around the table. Where shall we start tonight?
You gotta give him more of a time, remember?
Yeah, you gotta have time.
You need some time to think.
Anytime.
Tracy, how you doing, man?
I am good.
All right,
tired.
Bob, how you? Oh, sorry. I thought that was
Good
us.
and tired?
Good and tired. Got to break away a little bit today to go out to the airport to see a few more of our folks off in the Air Force. They're going to an undisclosed location in the Southwest Asia. So, yeah,
All right,
also known as the Middle East.
doing good work. Keep up the good work, as I always say.
Interesting.
Sweet. Bob, how are you doing?
So, yeah, it was an okay day. It was only half day work-wise, but it was like a full day everything else-wise. So,
Oh, wow.
one of those, yeah, they're waiting for trials to be done and so forth. Yeah, but, God was merciful. We'll put it and just leave it at that. And then, then right after that, call in elder attorneys, trying to do this is where things get interesting when your in-laws are old. Yeah, and so plan for your age appropriately. That's
Do the best you can. Get the
anything
documents in place. Get
Yeah.
the
and
cash in place.
And don't be prideful about your, stuff. Let your kids know what's going on, because that has really, really messed us up. So, and it's going to be really hard to get them out of the situation they put themselves into. When it comes down to everything, they're not going to get what they are hoping for, because I think they've got really unrealistic expectations to start off with, and then they spent way too long not doing anything about it because of the old, you don't need to know my finance business thing. Yeah, so it's going to be tough.
Yep.
Well, you know what? They are blessed to have you helping them through that process.
It's true, and I'm happy to help. It's just not going to be fun, and especially.
It's a good reminder to us all.
Yes.
Get on the ball on this thing.
So, if you have financial issues, go see somebody now.
Somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Yes.
I think would be the better.
That also.
You're talking about therapy? Oh, no. Oh, go see a finance. Oh,
I know a guy. His name's
I-
Murray. He can take care of some
I got
things.
a story about that.
I literally had one of those situations today. One of my clients is. So this was one of those very, very weird stories. So this financial guy gets shot by his brother-in-law or something like that. Yes, it has nothing to do with my company or anything. And
That's good.
And
Tough company.
yeah, exactly. His
Pay up or else.
ex-wife was involved in this somehow. She and some other guy who's like, I can't quite remember how it's all related, run off somewhere after it appears that they have killed her children.
Good grief.
And buried them.
What?
And, yeah, exactly. So some guy dies from natural causes. The guy that shot her husband dies from natural causes somewhere along the lines, and but where all this comes down to is my clients were sold some shady stuff by the guy that got shot in the first place. And it's like, so you see these really crazy headlines, and
I think I saw this on TV.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're so disconnected from it.
Yeah,
You're so disconnected from it. It's like it doesn't really have any impact. And then you meet somebody who's impacted by it, and it's like,
And then Batman shows up.
Could have used Batman.
take care of some business.
That's right.
Right.
Well, you've got a lot of brain work going on today.
Yeah, today was one
Brain
of those
strain.
interesting days.
That is interesting.
All right, Mr. Morey. How are you? You've had plenty of time.
I
Expecting
had
some big stuff here. No, I'm just kidding.
Batman came.
I'm just kidding. So you were at the Batcave today.
I was at the Batcave. Actually, it was a wonderful weekend. Julie and I spent some time by ourselves, which was amazing. Saturday, we did nothing. That being said, we then decided to do something and went for a hike in, it's not Cottonwood, Crestwood Canyon? Castlewood Canyon.
Oh, fun.
Awesome place.
Yeah, so that was cool.
According to your Facebook, you were in Castlewood Canyon.
Yeah.
So there you
Did
go.
it say that?
Julie did.
We all know where you're
Yeah.
She's
following your every move.
Yeah.
took a nap, got rested, and I got a lot of stuff done today at work. And my boss said, "There's my productive guy." So they call me the new guy, but I've been there more than a year, and so I'm going to inform my boss tomorrow that I no longer want to be called the new guy. I want to be called the guy. That way
guy
when somebody
abides.
needs something, I got a guy.
Talk to the guy.
Yeah, go talk to the
You're
guy.
the guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the guy. So,
Oh, man.
that's I'm going to tell them that's, my team is weird enough that these little nicknames are kind of fun and they stick.
Yeah, good.
So,
Well, that's
we'll see
awesome.
what happens.
I will say that both of your kids were kind of a joy to me on Sunday. So both Morey just threw out being really engaged in the.
Morgan?
I'm sorry, you're Morey.
I am.
Sorry, Morey.
What's my son's name?
Morey Jr.
Morey Jr.
Morgan. Yeah, sorry, Morgan. Well, anyhow, but yeah, he was so engaged in the service and was
Awesome.
cracking me up. And then Taylor's comment at one point, when all the wind and everything was going on,
Yeah.
was that something to the point, to the extent of carry on, you got this. You have the power of God and bacon on your
Thank
side.
God, make it right. I did. We did see that comment. We were actually driving home during the service, so I did get to hear it.
Yeah,
I did not get to hear when your string broke.
that happened right before we started.
Okay. So
Yeah, there was no time to do anything about that. Well, we tried, but
we have strings here, by the way.
oh, okay. I
They run
got
up
a
there?
set of strings. I was just going to restring it for you, but if you have some strings you'd like to put on it, I can do that too.
I would just have strings.
As long as it has strings.
Always good to have strings.
We have strings.
Strings.
Wait, you're stringing along in this joke.
Hey,
Yeah.
there's the pun. There's the Bob we know and love.
That's right.
Right there.
No strings attached.
That was actually better.
They are attached. aren't they?
They are, except
You're
for that high
rubbing
E
off on Maury.
string. That high E string is not attached.
It's not. No longer
high E
attached.
string attached.
Hi. So anyway, right. Well, cool. Well, we're glad you're back.
It was good.
That's a great testimony to the power of resting and refreshing,
Yes.
and how important that is. It's more important than most of us know. We actually can get more done if we actually take time to pull away and rest and refresh.
Well, we listened to our bodies, and whatever it told us to do, that's what we did on Saturday. And it really was, for me, it was more sleep. For Julie, it was camping journaling.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a thing. She likes those kinds of things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah. So that
Love
was
it.
fun.
Well, speaking of, I got to, Leon and I also went on a hike
Yes,
on
you did.
Saturday. That change of, so you guys had a change, and that freed up our rest of our day. So we actually left on Friday and just got out of town, just a hotel getaway, and then the next day, it was an amazing hike. What's it called? It's like Beaverbrook Chavez Trail or something like that. It's just to the northwest of here. It's just north of Golden, so not very far away. And it was awesome.
Imagine.
It was beautiful, and we were just going to spend, because we started late and kind of slept in and just kind of took our day into Saturday. And so I thought, well, since it's so late, we're probably not going to be out there very long. So, yeah. So, yeah, rookie mistake. Like I was talking about, it's so stupid. You know, you never, ever, I don't care where you're hiking or how long you think you're hiking, always have snacks or something.
Yes.
We had like I said, we had water and all the first day. We had all the normal stuff, but I just thought we weren't planning on it. But this trail, it was the way we went. The whole first part of it was all down, and so the more I was thinking, I was like,
Which means the whole last part of it.
we're gonna be going back up. Anyway,
Always fun.
Yeah.
5 or 6 miles later. Yeah, we were starting to get a little dizzy, but it was a great getaway. Just
sounds
the
fun.
change of scenery, and I was refreshed and ready on Sunday. It's a good thing. How else could I have dealt with that? There's so many funny things
Yeah,
with Sunday.
a lot of wind. So did, the wind got worse.
Later in the day,
Yeah,
it sure
I mean,
did.
like real worse. And, to the point to where our brand new grill,
Oh no.
it's pretty new. We've cooked on it like, I don't know, 5-6 times,
Yeah.
whatever. But it blew over and it's broke.
No.
So the wheel broke on it, and it's kind of
It's like the canopy
cattywampus
story.
now. And I'm just like,
So you had some trouble.
it
You
was
guys are wanting me to stop this
It was
series
inexpensive.
immediately.
so many times since we've been talking about troubles, right? We've had more and more examples of trouble. So
see,
we got to get past it, Johnny.
Well, here's the thing. It's kind of like people talking about doing a will.
yeah.
It's like, oh no, if I write a will, it means I'm going to die. I've got news for you. You're going to die. You're all going to die.
100% chance.
Right. So it could be that all these troubles were on the way, and it's a good thing we're talking about them.
That's
to
right.
Get through them. It's not a causation thing.
That and the more you focus on something, the more you like pay attention to other things. So
Oh, sure.
If buy a new car, you're going to see all that you've never seen that car before until you get it, and then it's everywhere.
Everybody just bought that new car.
So those troubles were always there, and you're just actually noticing them because you're thinking about troubles.
Yeah.
And we can deal with it. We can have a better approach.
A grill. Whatever. I mean,
It
it's
is a pain.
grill.
It is a pain, though. That is
It is a
an
pain.
annoying thing to happen.
We stepped up. I mean, we spent a lot of money on this grill, and but it's okay. I mean,
you were like sacrificing things to it in the evenings or anything.
That's right.
The burnt offerings came back.
we ate the offerings, right?
Wow, that's good then.
All I know is next time we set it up, we're gonna have to put some strings. So I'm gonna need that guitar
Oh,
string
right.
so we can hang it, and that way,
Okay.
if it blows, it just swings.
We have strings.
But it'll probably break. Knowing that string, it is prone to break.
True. We'll use bass strings.
It was really weird, Morey, because every time I would play a C, that was the blank spot, that bottom, right with the finger. So I kept thinking I was on the edge of I said fret, but what I meant was the neck of the thing.
Yeah.
And so I was playing the chord wrong every time until the last song when I finally
Yeah, that's
got
all
into
right.
the rhythm of it.
It's
but
all right.
I think we did pretty
Johnny,
good, all things considered, truthfully.
I must confess that those strings
Yeah.
were probably multiple years old.
I thought they were the ones that Michael strung on them at one point, didn't he?
Did he string them?
I think so, because some of them were strung this way and some were strung this way. So I'm thinking maybe it was
Gotcha.
he was learning as he went. So to tighten it, you go this way. No, the other way. Oh, what the bing! Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morgan said he truly enjoyed the content of the message, and it
good.
meant a lot to him, especially the complaining. Hey God, why are you picking on me?
Yeah.
Good.
That was and how we react versus someone who is not a believer,
Yeah.
who would just naturally say, "Why does this always happen to me?" And instead we should be more like, this is happening to me, and we're going to deal with this, and praise God.
I got feedback about that very thing today from Chris as well. and it really resonated with her. So I was glad to hear that. It's encouraging to hear because it kind of resonated with me too. I mean, obviously, I'm on this journey too, for sure. I'm just teaching what it says.
There's no doubt, there's only one perfect, as you mentioned before. That's the one we came to worship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I think about complaining, I always think about the usefulness of things, right? The usefulness of complaints. If we're complaining about a situation, I mean, is it productive and useful?
Right.
Not necessarily. Usually not. Maybe if the food is prepared wrong at a restaurant, complaining about it will fix the issue. I don't know. But generally speaking, wallowing around in self-pity and complaining about whatever happens to be going on is, to me, it has always seemed counterproductive. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop me from complaining.
Weird how that works.
But it does. When I take that breath and it's like, all right, the complaining isn't helping. Let's look at this different. So
it's making things worse. In fact, it's not only not helping; it actually is making things worse.
Well, you think about the person who sees that complaining.
Yeah.
Let's just use the wind, and it's happened several times in our outdoor functions where the wind comes along and blows the tent up or knocks pages around and stuff like that. Say for example, if we're just complaining about those troubles, what does that look like to someone who had just seen our sign and walked up?
Yeah, exactly.
To the service, what would that look like?
Mm-hmm. Kind of petty. Kind of petty.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those when you said "let it sink in" moment.
Well, right. I mean, it's a. We laugh a lot. I mean, I posted the other thing, sort of the blooper reel. I don't know if you guys got to see that. I know you commented about it. I've got clips from everything that sort of went wrong.
Oh.
And I pieced them all together. It's a short one. It's on Facebook. Yeah, look at it.
Check it out, yeah.
Because at the end, there was that one moment where we had just started Come Ye Sinners, and about 5 pages off it that way. So at the end, I did like 3 rolls of that, just because it just made me laugh so much. But anyhow,
and then you were like, "Hey, could you hand me that
under
the page that's under your shoe?"
Exactly.
That's our next song.
That was great.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, that's what I'm saying. We like to laugh, but at the same time, it helps us to deal with very serious and profound, things that we're talking about.
Right.
So it's not silly. We're not being silly, but the laughing and all that just gives us a little bit of a buffer to deal with the hard truth that's we're about to jump into.
It puts it in the context that it's really not that big a deal,
Yeah, those other things, sure.
Even if it had all the music had just blown to Timbuktu, it still wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Exactly.
Just like the Bible app crashing that morning, that no fault of our own, but it messes everything up.
The thing is, I put some time into that thing too, and that's the deal. That was what was frustrating about it. And I love the Bible app, and it's all back now. Of course, it was by that afternoon. We'll use it again next week.
Microsoft has been having issues too, so it's all
Well,
good.
I will say what that did do is it reminded me there's something else I can do, because the very same stuff that's on the Bible app, I can also create a page on our website and just paste. So if that ever happened, it's not as clean and pretty, but I could just point people to that page and you can do the same thing, scroll.
Yeah.
So it gave us opportunities to learn.
And that's the point of troubles, right? They're supposed to grow through them, isn't that?
That's what we want to do. We want to grow through, pray through, and all of those things. Well, we were talking about endurance, though, right?
Yes.
And so the complaining thing is it's part of how do we endure? So we've been talking about how, over the years you get tougher and tougher, but endurance is actually, it's more than just kind of creating a tough skin.
Sure.
It's learning to deal in the appropriate way with the things that we encounter. And so that involves a number of things. So it means stopping some things, and it means adding other things. So we were just talking about the stopping part, but it's so important. Can it get more practical than that? And like right where we live, if you're going to endure things and build endurance, first thing you got to do is, it's kind of like if it's like, Doc, my leg is killing me. It's killing me. Well, stop hitting it with the axe. Whoa, oh, right. Better stop that first. Let's stop the bleeding first, and then deal. It's kind of like that. So it hits all of us, and we can immediately apply that principle. Stop complaining.
Endurance comes with it's practicing something over and over again. You know, like with physical fitness, you know, you're talking about endurance. Like when you run, you can run a lot further than we can apparently because he's got a higher endurance, you know, for running.
And he's building strength.
I'm going to get eaten by that bear.
I don't need to outrun the bear. I just need to outrun you.
That's right. Just outrun your friend.
You can all outrun me. So,
But likewise, like you're saying, it's not always about doing. It's sometimes about stopping
a few things.
Right. The rest days are as important, if not sometimes more important than the actual run days, because that gives the body a chance to actually rebuild.
Yeah.
And it's the same, you know, to be able to sit back and when you've experienced a trouble, like sit back, relax, and go, what happened?
Yeah.
And what did I do? What could I do differently? You know, what did I do well? What can I do differently? It's that, and that's what builds that, you know, that continuing endurance just with troubles on that end.
The stopping thing reminded me of dieting.
Oh, wow.
Whenever that whole thing, you know, where you have to stop something, I'm like, oh man, it's kind of like I need to stop eating salt. Right? Salt is the biggest contributor to high blood pressure.
Sure, a
which I
little
have
sodium
high blood
thing,
pressure.
sure.
I didn't know that.
Slightly, it's just a little high.
Me too.
But so Kathy and I have decided we are going to cut down on our sodium levels.
Good.
You know, like a lot. So we have to stop eating certain things that we enjoy. So luckily, dark chocolate is still on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
So one thought on the stopping, and this works for complaining too. Don't just stop complaining, replace it with something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, so find something, like if you're looking for that flavor, find something really spicy, or you know, something that
Spicy's
kind of fits that same concept that salt does, but you know, it's healthier for you.
I like pizza a lot. Pizza has a very high sodium content.
Yep.
Let's not talk about that.
But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to.
True.
Because
If we
pizza is
make
one
it
of those
ourselves.
versatile
Yeah.
things that you can actually make in a way that still tastes fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, by the right spices.
We should have brought some pizza out of there.
So we were talking about endurance, and image of a boxer popped into my head, and I was thinking about, you know, the troubles as punches over and over and over, and the toughness that gets built up. But there's a whole lot more to boxing than just being able to take a punch. It's how to counter
Yes.
that. And where do they get that? They study that.
Yeah.
And the word is our trainer, who teaches us how to counter. And so that popped in my head. I thought it was a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
I like it.
Because you guys are
Running,
all, once
dieting,
again,
boxing. What do you got?
we're out. Oh, wait. No.
So you have the ultimate example, and that was your real world example that you're using going through this trouble thing with your trip to Alaska.
Which is the story that keeps
Breaking up with Leon on that trip.
Oh,
I want to know more
gentlemen.
about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, see, I was about to make some really great point, and you took me off into this.
Oh, I'm
this
sorry,
land.
Johnny.
But now I don't even remember what it was.
Oh, well,
It was going to be amazing.
I feel
too.
so bad.
I will say this, that I will come back to that story. And that is that you guys always, on these Mondays, you get ahead of the game because you're all so smart. Right? So we said stop complaining. Well, obviously that's not all we're going to talk about. So there's more, right?
But wait.
And it's
If you act now,
here's the teaser that you guys are on, right? It's the passage out of Ephesians, right? Let no corrupt communication. I'm going to quote it from King James, King Jimmy, because I did that long time. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, except for the use of edifying, that it may minister grace to the hearers. Now, this is a verse in our culture and world that we do not like very much if we start thinking about it. It means that replacing the complaining, that it should be something that is actually encouraging, lifting up those around you. I will say, I got to brag on my wife here for just a minute.
Okay.
So today, at the end of the day, I get done at about 2:45. She's still there at about 3:15. So I go into her room, and she's talking to the other teachers on her team. And I'm just sitting back, I'm just listening to her. And she's been stressed and juggling all this stuff too. It was really weird because they have like cohort A in the room. Cohort B is live on the screen. And then there are some others that were just, at home altogether anyway. And so they're doing all this stuff. So they had a lot of things they had to juggle today because it was the first day back for those kids. And she was just talking to her teammates. And I know it was a challenge and whatever. But she just kept countering with, hey guys, but it's going to be great. You guys are awesome. We did it. We're in this together.
That's
she
cool.
just kept saying stuff like that.
That's
encouraging.
And when she was finished, I just said, you know what? You're a great leader, Leona. She goes, what? Leader always lifts the people up in the room, encourages it, and raises the temperature of the vibe of the room. Anyway.
Paraphrase that Ephesians thing. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
That's the negative. That's not the positive.
I know.
It's kind of like the golden rule, right? There's a version of the golden rule in all of culture and history, but Jesus actually did a different spin on it.
Right.
The way the golden rule usually goes is like, don't do to anybody else anything you would want them to do to you.
Or do it to them first.
Or do it to them. Jesus actually spun it into the do unto others what you would like for them to do to you. So positive spin.
I like that.
You know why?
Jesus had some cool things to say. I like it too.
Well, yeah.
You know why?
He's my
Because he
favorite.
loves us.
He loves us.
You know how much God loves us?
How much?
He loves us so much that he gave his only son. And whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. That's in John 3:16.
John 3:16.
Read it.
John 3:16.
Thank you, Morey.
Yep.
Thank you for
a good
centering
spot
us
for it.
back to John 3:16.
Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think of the positive. If you're going to say something, make sure it's something good to say.
Now, here's the other thing. Here's the
I'm
balance.
going
And
to try to
again,
not paraphrase it.
I don't want to go into the whole series and stuff for.
No, you're going to spoil it
tonight.
for everybody.
But Scripture also tells us, right? What does it tell us? To speak the truth in love. So that's the spin. It doesn't mean that we don't say hard things, even to friends and family.
That's right.
But they must be within the context of
love,
love,
right.
because it changes your tone, it changes what you say, it makes you pause before you say it, because you want to convey this in a way that's not going to break somebody or whatever. So, I mean, there's a whole lot. I mean, if we all we got to do is keep going into James, and we're going to be talking about
says in
words that
there.
we say.
It says in there, do it in love, or else you're a drummer.
What?
Like, clanging cymbals and gongs.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Wait a minute.
I genuinely went blank for a minute. I was like,
I'm out.
I'm sure a oh,
I'm kidding, brother.
I do have a rule.
without love, I am a clanging.
I'm a drummer.
There,
Sorry.
I'm mad at you.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. That's 2 in a row at least tonight for you.
So
Zingers.
that speaking in love, even whenever you're trying to address something that's hard to address, I have a personal rule that says,
You are on the podcast.
you wanna?
That's the school system. Sorry.
Never have a conversation with somebody where you say, I love you, but.
Oh, you should never call him a butt anyway. Oh, sorry, Chris. Go ahead. I misunderstood.
So when you're speaking in love, try your best not to say, I love you, but.
Yeah.
Right.
But because it's almost like, I love you, but just kind of erases the whole I love you.
It does
part.
kind of disqualifies
Yeah,
it a little
it
bit,
does.
doesn't it?
He's spoken to me in love in many times. Many a time. Yeah.
I love you, bro, and I'm going to tell you how it is right about now. So
Yeah, you don't hold
Oh,
back
my
sometimes.
goodness.
I do I love you and.
I love you. And
And
You really blew
bonus
this.
bonus statement.
bonus statement.
I love you. You're really messed up. I love you. You
You're
got to
a
fix this. I love you.
And you're horrible. No way. Oh my goodness.
That's like the entire apology where you say, "I'm sorry, but you did this to me."
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
sorry
yeah,
if you
don't-
think I did something wrong.
Oh man, that's a whole
like the
other thing.
non-apology.
But the
That
butt
brings
thing is a
trouble.
pet. The butt thing is kind of a pet peeve. I think it's appropriate from time to time, but if you're trying to be
Yeah.
sincere with somebody in love or apology, that's the other one. Yeah, don't I'm sorry, but no,
Yeah.
just I'm sorry.
Yeah, just say if you're really sorry, you're sorry.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus said, let your yes be yes and your no be
Yeah.
no. Right? Be clear.
Right.
Be
clear.
Don't talk all around the thing. But it's like don't qualify the love. You don't want to, but you might need to qualify a scenario or a situation.
Sure,
so talk about that. You don't have to preface it with "I love you." It might be the thing you wrap with
Yeah.
because you said the other things in love.
I like that.
Not bad.
We just put some bacon on it.
Bacon, because bacon is love.
It is.
It did not. It did not help making the guitar this summer.
Bacon let the string down.
It let us down. Actually, it gave us an opportunity to shine and be stronger.
That's right.
It's true because we were rocking on that.
So
think
Bob
of
was talking about loving that song.
I so dig that
Which
song.
one?
Come ye sinners.
Oh yeah, good.
And how we need to probably do that as the full worship team at some
Yeah,
point.
we've talked about that.
We haven't done it yet.
Well, that's true, but we are. It was actually in my list Thursday. We just didn't have time.
Okay.
Sorry.
This Thursday we can hit it.
Because full on, that would be fantastic.
Would
I
be.
agree.
We can really make it great.
I love it. And it's just a classic oldie and doesn't pull any punches.
Yeah.
It puts us right where we need to be. In sinners in need of a Savior. That's us. That's us
That's
today.
us.
That's me
Yeah.
right now.
That is the truth.
Every moment
Same
of every
here.
day.
Same
Oh
here.
my goodness. What time is it, Trace?
We
Good
got
conversation, friends.
10 minutes left, so we'll get there.
Well, it's good stuff we're getting into. I'm glad to hear of the interaction. It's always great to get feedback from people, and I have, so that I love that. Sometimes I think, I was like, oh man, did that all?
Sorry.
All right, what we're going to have to all do, starting with me, we're going to have to silence our phones. Deposit them in the... Anyway, I don't always get feedback, and sometimes I think that everything fell flat when I'm speaking. This is very common for every person who ever preaches or teaches. You go home and you go, did that? I wonder if I just bored everybody to death. Did anybody even get that? And the times often I think that I really blew it. The times when I find out, man, that really spoke to me. I'm like, once again, thank you, God, that it's not about me.
You know what? But
It's about
you're
you
always going to
speaking
have
through
that.
me.
So, yeah. Somebody might be like listening to you and it just kind of falls flat. But the person sitting next to them, it might be what they needed to hear that day.
Exactly.
So we all need to hear different things at different times, or the same thing at the same time. It's going to vary. So never worry about
Oh, I don't.
doing a message and.
No, I don't. I've learned
having it
over the years.
Yeah.
It's like even leading worship. Back in the days when I just used to wave my arms.
Yeah. We've done that.
Granted, it was with a full team of people here.
Yeah.
But I could see people, and I'd be in the middle of this one, young in ministry, and I'm just thinking, why am I not reaching that guy? Because he just seems, he's like, lift up a praise to the Lord. And then later, I would find out that Mr. Frowny Face, he might come up to me and goes, man, I really appreciate
Yeah.
what you're doing. It's really speaking to me. I've been going through a lot of trouble. It was like, here I am judging this poor dude because of the look on his face. And I'm trying to get him, don't you love God? Sing praise to him. And
he
he's
was
like,
processing.
I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling with stuff. And he really, God's still using it. So
Hence the
That's
reason we don't judge.
we don't judge, man.
We do not.
We don't get that.
Well, it's tough,
Get to
though. I
do
mean,
that.
because each one of you guys are going to have an opportunity. I'll just say this publicly here on the cat. That,
Good Schrodinger. Good Schrodinger.
That was a triple.
good, Schrodinger. You're not really there. Yes, you are. Okay, so.
Don't know
Anyhow.
if he's recording or not.
But
until
it's
you-
This is, we just went into way off nerdland. Anyhow, each of you guys are going to have an opportunity to speak in some way before our group. So, this is the reminder that when you speak, not to worry. so much about what the expressions on faces or whether you're doing a good job. It's to be ready, be full of the Spirit of God, prepare as well as you can, and just remember that. So I give that to you all.
Okay.
For free.
I've had the opportunity to preach twice. It was very interesting experiences. The first one was at a church out in Fort Lupton, and they were going through a leadership change, and it was just filling in. And it was a very large sanctuary with very few families, and they were all like it might have been COVID times because they were all spread out and very socially distanced, and it was just odd because the pulpit was ginormous, so like hiding behind it, it feels. But it was a good sermon, I think, and the people seemed to appreciate it. Second time, I got the greatest compliment, and it was from an 18-year-old who comes up to me and says, "I was really interested in what you said."
Oh, hey, there you
From
go.
a teenager.
Success.
That's great. Yeah.
When we were in high school, something our church did is on Wednesday nights, we used to get up and speak.
Little testimony
give the
night.
little,
Testify.
give the,
It was tougher back then.
it was little mini sermons, 5 to 8 minutes.
That makes me laugh that Michael laughed at that the song we listened to where the guy in the middle of the song goes, "Testify." Testify. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. Testify. Well, I was just thinking, if you guys don't speak, at least we can do like a little barbershop quartet here right now. No.
Yeah.
No. I had a friend who was a guest speaker at a church. He was the guest speaker at this church, and it was a really old church, and they had a massive pipe organ to the extent where, as he was standing at the giant pulpit, the pipes actually went not just across here, but they curved down this way.
Wow.
And his first line was he walked up, he looked this way, and he looked that way, he goes, "I think before we should get started, we should fire this thing up and take it around the block." Did not go over well.
I'd have laughed out loud.
Oh man, that's pretty bold.
That is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Oh well. So now we're probably out of time, right?
Yeah.
That's a good conversation, guys. I never told you all about the perils of Penelope, ups and downs of perils of Penelope. Let's do the soap opera story of me and Leona breaking
I love
up
it.
all the times we did. All the times we did. It was crazy.
And here you are, 80 years later.
Yep, 80 years later, still kicking.
If it hadn't been for that Stegosaurus thing,
Stegosaurus had got us back on track. Saved her from that giant boulder and dinosaur.
Oh, goodness.
Spear in hand. Oh, for the love. Hey, wait a minute. You guys are insulting me, right? Wait just a second.
In love.
In love,
Take you in
though.
love.
Yes. Otherwise, we're drummers.
Well, for me and the three gongs, we are going to now wrap up. Oh, wait.
Yeah, 4 minutes on the cards.
I guess that wasn't very encouraging. No, I didn't.
That's great.
In love, guys. Well, all right. Mondays, I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, all right, dudes. Anything else you guys want to comment about yesterday or anything else going on? Before we do our final words.
one quick thought about
Yes, sir.
going back to complaining. My favorite complaint in the Bible is from Jonah. "I knew you were a loving God."
Yes, yes. Quick to mercy.
And slow to anger.
Hey, Jonah was a jerk. Wasn't he?
Yes.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Got every reason, but still.
I actually preached a series on Jonah. On jerks and Jonah. Jonah the jerk. Actually, before any of you, you know what? I could probably do that whole series again.
Recycle.
None of you guys were here.
Nice.
Oh, well. Well, all right, guys. Yep, good things ahead, good things to come. We don't know what's going to happen with the school. I did mention that Sunday.
We'll figure it out.
But it's going to be fine. We are very nimble. I mean, think about it. But think how we have met as a church for the past several months. I mean, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's a backyard, sometimes it's outside, sometimes it's homes, always online. We're going to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it then for us tonight. All right, final words tonight, Tracy.
Love you guys. Love everyone.
Love you, and likewise.
Peace, and I truly enjoy hanging with you guys. Just
Likewise.
I had to say it
And
this
I
time.
do too. Likewise,
All right.
likewise, likewise,
True
likewise.
story.
True story. Grace and peace to you. You know what? Before we go, you can join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. online on Facebook, Compass Church Colorado, or just going to our website to discover more, compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. That's all we got tonight. Grace and peace to you, and we are out.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Saying goodbye.
This has been saying goodbye.